Today we will see one general anatomy topic, skin. So today we are going to see the introduction, layers, types of skin, microscopic structure of the skin, which includes epidermis and dermis, and skin appendages. And at the last, summary. So this is a picture of skin, where this area is the epidermis, and below is the dermis. So skin consists of epidermis, and the dermis. Dermis has got two layers, papillary layer, which is near to epidermis, and reticular layer, which is below it. Epidermis is an epithelium, which is a stratified epithelium, whereas dermis is a connective tissue, which has a lot of structures. Below the skin, this area is superficial fascia or subcutaneous layer, where a lot of fat, nerves, vessels are present. Appendages of the skin are hairs, sebaceous glands, sweat glands, and nails. Epidermis, as I said before, it is a epithelium which is non-vascular keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. So this is the epithelium, which consists of different layers. Now this epithelium contains two types of cells. The first one is being larger in number, more in number. They are called keratinocytes. They have keratin, structural protein, inside the cell. So major cells are keratinocytes. There are some non-keratinocytes which are present in the epidermis. They are named as melanocyte, which produces color on the skin, Langerhans cells, which are dendritic cells, Merkel cell or tactile cells. Now, keratinocytes are engaged in the process of keratinization through various stages of morphogenesis. So the epidermis has got keratinocytes. These keratinocytes move from base to the top. So initially they are columnar cells, then it becomes polygonal cells, then becomes ovoidal cells or round cells, then slowly flat cells. So this movement of cells from base to the top, that is responsible for the stratification of the epidermis, and also it is responsible for production of the keratin layer, which can be seen at the superficial aspect, this layer. Here again epidermis can be seen, epidermis which has different layers which extends from here to this area, and the superficial layer is stratum corneum, which is the keratin layer. These are different layers of epidermis. The first layer, that is stratum basale, represented here. Then stratum spinosum. So stratum spinosum is here. Stratum granulosum, which are darkly stained cells. Stratum granulosum. Above that, a white area, that is stratum lucidum, and the last one is stratum corneum. Here stratum basale, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, stratum lucidum, and stratum corneum. This is dermis. This area is dermis. Stratum basale is also called stratum germinativum. Here columnar cells can be seen or cuboidal cells can be seen. This area, they are resting on basement membrane. Basement membrane is located here and they are resting on it. And they are called as stratum germinativum because it serves as a stem cells for all new keratinocytes. So the keratinocytes, all of them are going to begin their journey from here. The cells are produced here and they slowly move to the superficial aspect. Coming to the next layer, that is stratum spinosum or thorn-like layer, Malpighian layer or prickle cell layer. This area stratum spinosum. There are several layers of polyhedral cells. Polyhedral cells are seen here, which can be several layers. Whereas stratum germinativum, basal, it's a single layer. Stratum spinosum are multiple layer, and they take the basophilic stain. So they have basophilia, contains keratin filaments. So keratin is a structural protein that can be seen in keratinocytes, and they also has melanin pigments. Melanin pigments in this layer are produced by a non-keratinocyte, which is located here in the stratum basal. So it produces melanin granules, and that is present in this layer, stratum spinosum. This is how stratum spinosum looks like. At some point, it looks like thorns. So that's why it is called as thorny layer or thorn-like layer. Sharp, pointed projections can be seen in some areas, and there are several layers of cells in stratum spinosum. This is stratum basal. Coming to the next one, stratum granulosum. It has got small grains in it, and it takes stain, deep stain, and it is 2 to 3 layers in thickness. Here, the cells are 2 to 3 layers in thickness. Cells are flat, large, contains large coarse keratohyalin granules. So they contain granules called keratohyalin granules. They have the nucleus. So these layers, stratum basal, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, all these cells are having the nucleus and the cell organelles. But as we go to the next layer, the cell loses the nucleus and get dies off. So ultimately, this layer will have dead cells. So here we are discussing stratum granulosum. They have the nucleus, and they also has some lamellated bodies which can produce lipid. They have lipid, so that is discharged in the intercellular spaces in stratum granulosum, and this works as a waterproof layer. So the waterproof property of the skin is because of the lipid that is produced by lamellated bodies at this layer. Stratum lucidum is the fourth layer. Here the cells are dead and it loses nucleus and organelles at this area, which looks white in color. Lucid means clear, so this clear area. Since the nucleus and the cell organelles are absent, it takes very less stain, and they have densely packed keratin filaments and elidin, which is a transformation product of keratohyalin. Keratohyalin granules we have seen the previous slide, which is present in stratum granulosum. And the peculiarity here is that it is seen in the thick skin, stratum lucidum. Seen only in the thick skin. In the thin skin, it is absent. The last layer, stratum corneum. Here there are numerous cells which are dead cells and keratinized cells. Here the cells are present, but they loses nucleus and organelles, and they are squamous cells, horny cells, and that slowly gets sloughed off. But the intercellular spaces contains lipid-rich lamellated materials. So thus it acts as a waterproof layer. So this layer is stratum corneum. In the thick skin, it is very thick. In the thin skin, we have this layer, keratinized layer, but the thickness is less compared to the thick skin. To summarize this, there are two zones in the epidermis. Germinative zone, where the cells are multiplying through a process called mitosis. So the two layers are stratum basal and stratum spinosum. And the next layer, stratum granulosum, stratum lucidum, and the stratum corneum. These three layers can be grouped into horny zone because here the cells are not produced, and here the cells loses its organelles and dies off slowly, and they're going to get filled up with the protein filaments of keratin. So this zone is horny zone or cornified zone, and the first zone, the germinative zone, which consists of stratum basal and stratum spinosum. Again, this is dermis, this is epidermis, from here to this place. Now, how many days a cell takes from to move from stratum basal to stratum corneum? Usually it takes around 45 days for a cell to move from stratum basal to stratum corneum. But it's a normal condition. But in some abnormal condition like psoriasis, where the cell takes only 8 days from moving from stratum basal to stratum corneum, so it does not keratinize properly, and the property of the skin is lost in these cases, which is waterproof layer that is lost, and also the skin appears to be lot of skin has lot of skin will have a lot of scales. So that is called this condition is called psoriasis.